Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984.
Hey everybody, this is the Bizarre Alien, and you're listening to Beyond the Podcast of 1984. This is, I believe, episode 12. I had to charge up my batteries. They were really, really low. So anyhow, here we are. This episode is probably going to be a little bit shorter. I'm going to have to cut it off because I'll be leaving here probably a little earlier. Anyways, so earlier I was thinking about a bunch of stuff. And I realized that throughout a lot of my episodes, I keep talking about being a little bit sad, being a little bit cryptic. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being sad sometimes, but it seems like, I know there's a lot of that going on, and it's kind of ridiculous. I asked a couple friends, do you think there's anything wrong with being sensitive? Because I've been called sensitive, and 2 people have said no, and that's what gives me my personality. And, there's nothing insulting about that. I do think that sometimes it can be not the greatest thing. But anyhow, the only reason I bring it up is because I'm having a lot of fun with the show, but I don't want it to sound like that I'm always like depressed, because I'm not. I'm just sometimes a little bit sad about stuff. But earlier I was like, God, you just got to quit dwelling on stuff. And, I think it happens to a lot of people. But earlier, started thinking, what really makes me happy? I know I've already said some of this before, but this is kind of new. So out loud, I was doing my job. I was like speaking out loud, to nobody was around. I was thinking about my favorite directors and like all the stuff that makes me happy. Of course, my kitties. And I was thinking about my dream girl and just thinking about, random stuff. And I got to tell you, it was really amazing. It was almost like, I felt like I was exercising myself. And I got to say, since I did that, I've actually felt a lot better tonight because, it's so easy. That's my problem, is I dwell on stuff and it sucks. So I got kind of ticked off at myself, just thinking, what makes me happy? And I think that's a good thing to do. And one of my old friends, he told me when he's really down, because he gets down once in a while, he'll actually write a list of stuff that makes him happy, like his kids. They're all grown up now, but they're still his kids. For him, reading the Bible, watching shows that he likes. And I think that's cool. And I was like, that's not a bad idea. For me, I've written too many lists in the past. I found so many lists I've thrown away, and they're not really, for me, they're not like, writing down stuff that makes me happy, but writing down movies that I'm looking for. I've kept a couple because it's kind of funny looking at that. It's like, oh, I got that movie like 5 years ago or whatever. Anyhow, I think it's a good idea. It's kind of like an exercise. I like reading too. Reading really helps me take my mind off of things. But, I don't know. Maybe part of it too is getting older. You think about stuff, and like, I was talking about that on one of the episodes about regret. Kind of ticks me off that, I'll dwell on some things, and they're, kind of personal, private, dumb things. They're actually really dumb. I'm not going to get into it because it's a waste of time. It really is a waste of time to dwell on stuff. It's just dumb. And this show, I want to talk about stuff that makes me happy and stuff that I like, and just being a total dork. And that does remind me, speaking of being a dork, last Saturday, went to Best Buy, and apparently they're not selling, the guy said, all the movies that we have out there. That's it. And because I said, yeah, last time I was here, the movie section was pretty wiped out. He says, well, we're not going to be selling movies anymore. I'm like, great. Because I got to tell you, Best Buy was like the best place for me, along with Hastings. And that's where I got a lot of my freaking movies. But seriously, for like the last, I don't know how many years, I've ordered quite a few movies through the mail. Like I've ordered from my Aero Films, I've ordered from Amazon. So I've kind of laid low on that. A lot of eBay stuff. And I found a lot of gems, man. I got a lot of movies, and I want to do more episodes talking about movies and stuff. And, not just horror, splatter, and all that stuff, and, and monster movies and all, but I want to actually talk about, really getting into a lot of like kind of drama stuff, stuff that I would not have watched up to 3 years ago that seriously, I just like, I would have had no interest. But, it's not even about opening my mind. It's just that, you get older, you appreciate stuff. I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of wimpy. I even like a few pop songs from nowadays, songs that came out in 2024. Not a lot, but a few songs that I like. Been digging, what's that song? Watch Me Dance by Dua Lipa. I actually really like that song, and I like the song Cupid by 50/50. And there's a song, I wish I could remember her name. She's this beautiful girl. I hate auto-tune, but there's something about, it's kind of auto-tune in her singing, but it's not horrible. But I'm just like, I don't know. There's some songs I like, and I don't care, I got the Barbie movie weeks ago, and I still need to watch it. I'm just waiting for the right moment, but I'm happy I got it because I love Margot Robbie. She's beautiful. I loved her in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think that's a great movie. I really like that movie. And, of course, Harley Quinn. I've got all those movies. I mean, I've got a lot of freaking movies, but I've got all the Harley Quinn, Suicide Squad. Both of those, The Birds of Prey, and they're fun stuff. I still want to get the Black Widow movie. Anyways, because, oh, God, I could tell you a whole story about Florence Pugh. I know she's not my dream woman, but she is beautiful. I'm going to tell you, if I did my top 10 most beautiful Earth women, she's definitely on that list. But anyhow, that's going to be another episode. So I'm just sitting here kind of zoned out. But yeah, I was just thinking about life every day. Think about stuff that makes me happy, and I'm grateful for stuff. Like at my house, furnace hasn't been working for thermostat. And apparently furnace just kind of went. But anyways, took a couple days, and this cool guy come over, a real nice dude. We had one guy, he brought in, brought a new thermostat, hooked that up, fixed some other stuff in the house, and then this other guy came over, and luckily he had the part yesterday. Well, technically it's yesterday now. Today's now Saturday, but he came over, and he got it going. It took him about an hour. He had to vacuum out the furnace, and I'm grateful for that, man. We got heat again. Been using a little heater, and it's helped, but it's so goddamn cold right now. Oh, God, some kid on TV just puked. Sorry. Oh, God, that is nasty. But I'm grateful for that. And I want to play my guitar again. I haven't been going upstairs a lot lately because it's been cold, but holy smoke, it's really cold out. It's like death cold. It's like post-apocalypse cold. Wow. So I don't even know what this episode's about. I just want to say, be happy if you can. Life is hard sometimes, but whatever it is that makes you sad, love, no love, being sick, whatever. This is going on my 14th day. Just about that. I don't feel really horrible, but I've just got this goddamn congestion. I just took the rest of my, Robidan DM. I think that's what it's called. It's like a generic version of Robitussin. I'm going to have to get some more of that. And I don't know why the doctors didn't give me any, I can't even think straight. They didn't give me any, Jesus. See, my brain is just going, boo. When you're really, really sick and they give you, I can't even think what it's called right now. Excuse me. But anyhow, I have to take my diabetes pills every day. I have to take my high blood pressure pills. And I got approved by the FDA. Or the FDA? God, that girl's beautiful. Okay, anyways,
You're still afraid?
Stop it now! I mean it!
He's coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're ignorant!
He's coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're acting like a
He's
child!
coming for you. Look, here he comes.
Now he'll hear you!
Here he comes now. I'm getting out of here, PCA. Tune in to PCA's Podcast Weekly on Beyond the Podcast of 1984. BTP 1984.com. Beyond the Podcast of 1984.
Beyond the Podcast of 1984.
I have taken all these medicines, and hopefully I'll be getting off of one of them because I have a little problem. It's a problem that a lot of men have, and I'm sure you know what it is, and you can go ahead and laugh if you want. In fact, I was talking to the doctor, and I said, you go tell your family, laugh if you want. And I even told the doctor, I said I wasn't trying to be inappropriate. It's kind of joking, whatever, something like it. If I ever did stand up again, talk about it, I'd make jokes about it, because they actually did give me these pills. And it's funny because on the bottle it says, take 1 hour before sexual activity. Well, I tried it. It didn't work. And I don't even care. I'm not embarrassed. I don't really care. You listen to this and think, God, this guy is an idiot. He's talking about privacy. I don't care. I'm dead downstairs. I'm totally dead. So you know what? It don't matter that, I'm by myself good. It doesn't matter. I can't do anything. It sucks, but it also, I don't know. It's like I told the doctor, I said, I don't have a wife. I don't have a partner. I don't got nobody. So it doesn't really matter. And I hope that whoever's listening to this, I hope you're laughing. And it sucks because I used to laugh about that kind of stuff. Now I'm like, it sucks. But, because it just sucks. Because, you wake up and, you know all about that. Who cares? You wake up with the morning wood. I can't even do that now. I don't care. This is my show. I'll talk about whatever I want. But yeah, they gave me these pills. It's not Viagra. I don't even remember what the stuff's called, but I tried it and it does not work. So apparently this other pill that I'm taking is what's suppressing my problems. And, it just sucks. But anyways, I'm hoping to get that problem rectified, or spend the rest of my life in a pain amplifier. Or they can. Anyhow, yeah, music, life, oh no. What am I talking about? I don't even know what this episode's about. This is probably just going to be a really short episode. No point. We could even call this episode No Point. There's no point to this episode. You know what I mean? We could just call it that. As long as 12 minutes. Wow. I have no solid, really nothing solid to talk about. Okay, actually, let me jump back to the Best Buy thing. So, yeah. Anyways, I bought some movies, and it's driving me nuts because I can't remember what one of them is. Anyways, the guy told me that, like all the Steelbook Blu-rays that they have, he said they signed a contract with Walmart, and I guess Walmart's going to take over. They're going to start selling all this. So that's kind of cool. And I know a lot of people are down at Walmart, and I know they're not the greatest, the people that run it. Yeah, I know all about that, but it's like, it's not really what's other stores to go to. And I do buy some of my movies there. I know they're not censored. People are like, oh yeah, Walmart censors everything. No, they don't. Years ago, I bought Machine Girl there, the crazy Japanese movie, and that wasn't cut at all. In fact, every movie that I bought there has not even been cut. So maybe they were selling censored movies years ago, but at least they're not like Blockbuster. Now I know a lot of people. My friend Diablo used to be a manager there. I'm not ragging on you, dude, for, working. I know you love Blockbuster. That's cool. I've never been a big fan of Blockbuster just for the reasons of them carrying a lot of censored movies. But you know what? To each their own. It's like Hollywood. I thought Hollywood Video was pretty terrible also. But some of those chains to me were just terrible. It's like, I want a movie uncut. That's how I am, especially horror. I don't want freaking cut movies, censored crap. But, if you do, that's fine. If you like movies censored, like, oh, I want to make sure that my children, I don't want them to see stuff like that. And why are you even renting that movie in the first place? You're renting it, and it's like censored. It's like, why are you renting it anyways? It's like, oh, let's go. Hey, look, let's bring back Blockbuster. We got a Serbian film. We got the cut version. They wouldn't even carry that movie. So give me a break. But anyways, you know what I mean. These people, like what was it, that Clean Flicks? There's like a documentary. I think it's Clean Flicks that did a documentary about it. They got busted. I'm glad they did, because they would actually buy movies, and then they would just totally cut them up. And then they'd sit there and they'd sell them or rent them. And I'm like, yeah, you're freaking ripping off people. And when we bought the movies, I don't care, you're censoring it. Oh, I just bought this album and I'm making a bunch of bootleg copies. And I'm cutting out certain songs I don't like, but, and I'm making a new cover for it. It's like, give me a break, you freaking parasites. I think that was the name. What was that documentary? It was kind of funny, but they all got sued. I think Steven Spielberg was among them, and I'm with him on that. Regardless if that guy's made a lot of movies I think are terrible, but, Steven Spielberg's also got movies that I love. Walmart's going to be carrying more Steelbook Blu-rays, which is cool. I don't really care if the movie's a Steelbook or not. I mean, if it's a movie I really like, I should say, I've got a bunch of Steelbooks. I've thought about putting them all together, and I'm like, well, that's going to kind of screw up my collection. Because I take this movie out of here, but I might do it anyways because I'm a nerd. But I bought... we had a lot of Steelbooks. In fact, Best Buy, I'm going to miss that because they had these Best Buy exclusives. So apparently now they're going to be Walmart exclusives. Like, what was it? The Man Who Fell to Earth. I think that was a Best Buy exclusive. I can't remember. But I've got like random stuff I got at Best Buy and then Walmart, like movies like Drive. What was it? Best Buy, I got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the steelbook of that. Okay, I got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead, both steelbook Blu-rays at Walmart of all places. And then I got Beetlejuice, Drive, the Ryan Gosling film, some other movie called Drive, but the one that, what's his name, the Scandinavian director. He also did Only God Forgives, and I can't remember the other movie. Oh, Neon Demon. That dude's great. I want to, Nicholas Ryan, I can't. Anyways, I think steelbooks are cool. I got a buddy, one of my best friends, is trying to collect all of Miyazaki's anime on Blu-ray. Like, good luck with that, my friend, because, that's a little more expensive, but, they're nice. I mean, they look really cool. I don't necessarily need a movie on steelbook, but if I find it and it's not too expensive, I'll get it. I mean, I've got the Book of Eli. I've got the DVD. I still have it. I have the DVD, the Blu-ray, and then I'm finding the steelbook Blu-ray. I found that at like Pawn One, and that was a gem. But I'm like, I love that movie, but I didn't realize I kept buying it. And, I'm such a nerd. That's like, seriously, I absolutely love that freaking movie. And Tim asked me the last couple days ago, he's like, so what do you like about that movie? I said, it's just awesome. I love the way it's shot. I love the grittiness of it. I think Denzel Washington's a kick-ass actor. And Gary Oldman rules, too. And it's just a great movie, man. I mean, come on, Jennifer Bill from Flashdance. She's totally hot. She's in it. And then, I don't have reference, man. What's her name from that 70s show? Can't believe I forgot her name. I remembered it finally. But the plays Jennifer Bill, the blind woman's daughter, and ends up traveling with, Eli across, the desert or whatever, because he's trying to, he's got that book with him. And I love that freaking movie. Anyways, the steelbook is really nice looking. And I don't know. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Maybe I'll look through and see, like, how many steelbooks do I have? But those are pretty cool. I've got a couple of, like, the VHS movies. I love the freaking VHS series. And I wish the new one would come out. Even though I'm broke now, but still, I can't wait till that sucker comes out. That was a VHS. I can't remember if it's 85 or whatever it's called, but I love those movies. I know some people are really down on found footage horror. I freaking love found footage. I think found footage is great. I mean, not every single one is great, but I'm going to say probably about 98% of the ones I've watched, I've really liked. Like, I thought Dash Cam was cool. What's that one called? The Host, which nothing to do with the great kick-ass Korean film. But, it's called The Host. So those people are doing like a seance thing over the internet. That one was really creepy and cool. One movie that really got a lot of crap. I posted a thing about it, and man, were people freaking out. Like, how much they hated it. But Skinamarink, I don't care what he says. You know what? If any of my friends will listen to this and you guys are all dissing on that, that's fine. I'm not dissing on you. I thought it was really cool. I mean, a lot of people really hated that movie, but I actually liked the way it was shot. It was very, very, very lo-fi. You didn't really see the characters too much. You saw their feet. You heard the dialogue. It's just like that big house with the kids in it and their parents, and parents disappeared. I liked it a lot. I thought it was actually like really creepy and freaking weird. The thing is, I'm going to say, if you watch Skinamarink, have an open mind if you're not used to stuff that's it's a very minimalist film, but I highly recommend watch it with subtitles because the audio is kind of low. They did it on purpose, apparently. But anyways, there's parts where the people are talking. There's not a lot of dialogue, but when there is, you want to have the subs on. And that's what I did. I have a habit of watching movies with subtitles, and I hate it when I get a movie and there's no English subs. My dad got me into the habit because he always has the captions on his TV because his hearing, I guess one ear is kind of bad. So I was like, oh, okay. And I kind of got into the habit of doing that. But anyways, I guess that's what this episode has been talking a little bit about. Blu-rays and steelbooks and being happy and looking at beautiful women on TV. Oh, God, they're hot. No, that's not what it's about. I'll probably do my top 10. Probably more like a top 50 because there's a lot of like legendary actresses I love. And let me just say real fast before I end this episode, because I'm probably going to have to end it. I might just maybe cut it off and just say, hey, can we just say, hey, welcome back to this episode, because I had to cut it off. I might actually have to do that because I think I got to get out of here pretty shortly. But I'm going to say, like, right now, Monica Vitti, Edwidge Finesse, Marissa Mel, Raquel Welch. Oh, God. But, a lot of those, like, I can't even remember her name, but the one from the D'Amato's Buried Alive. I forgot to have the beautiful blonde in it, and she also plays her own twin in it. Beautiful. Diablo knows what I'm talking about. God, there's a lot of like beautiful women, especially the Italian and giallos and like slasher films and anyhow, Steelbook Blu-rays. And I ended up going upstairs in my house. I was looking at them, and yeah, I have a pretty decent collection of them. I don't have like tons of them. There's a lot of steelbooks out there. A lot of them are just really expensive, but I don't know. I've been enjoying collecting them when I can find them. And yeah, I agree about the politics about Walmart and, the people that run it and everything. I do agree. I do go there though. I've actually found a lot of great steelbook Blu-rays. Anyways, I found a lot of cool stuff, like the last 2 VHS films, and then one that a lot of people really don't like, and I like it. And I'll just mention again, Skinamarink. What was the other one? Oh, God. I'm trying to remember the name now. It's another found footage. I took a chance on it. And the funny thing is, I wanted to see it so bad, I ended up ordering it online. I've got to try to remember the name of it. Hopefully it'll come to me in a bit. So I found it at Walmart. I had the money. The first time I saw it for sale, I couldn't buy it. I didn't have enough money. I ended up buying something else. But anyways, so I went back, bought it, and then I had it on the way. So I ended up, and I owed my buddy, my roommate, I owed him. So I gave him that Blu-ray, and God, what was it called? It wasn't Death Screams. It was, God dang it. It has to do with the internet. I can't even remember. Live Scream or Death Scream. I can't even remember the name of it now. But if you're into horror movies, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's about a guy that does a channel, and he's kind of screwed over people. He's a real idiot. He's a big mouth. He does stupid stunts. He decides to go to this allegedly haunted house, and he's filming himself. And, he's trying to communicate with spirits. And then this like cute girl shows up, and I really enjoyed it. It was way better than I thought. It was actually kind of funny. I thought it was going to be this total comedy. There's definitely funny elements. I can't remember the name of it. It's like, can't even get on my phone. Otherwise, I could get on there and like look it up online. The name of it. It's just like, God, I could see it in my head, but I can't remember the name of it. So yeah. This show, if you want to say unprofessional, I don't care. I guess I am unprofessional. A lot of people, when they do shows, like if you listen or watch, like for example, last stream on the left, or the last podcast. Oh my God. See, I almost want to like just erase this and like start it over. I'm not going to. Anyways, maybe in the next episode I'll start it out. I don't know. I probably won't. I don't know, man. God, I can't believe I forgot the name of that. It's found footage, and I can't remember the name of one of my favorite. Jesus, yeah. See, it happens. I have brain farts. I haven't done a show in like a week. I am having a lot of fun with it. I sound a little too serious. I'm glad I'm not hacking up, having dry coughs like I was the last time. I kept coughing, and it was really, really annoying. Was it Death Stream? I think that might have been the name of it. So anyways, it's a shot on video, found footage horror film, and I really recommend it. I think people that hated Skinamarink will probably like it because, you get to see everything. I still think Skinamarink was really great, and I'm hoping soon, when I have money again, that the new VHS will be out. I love that series, and I know some people that hate found footage. I love found footage horror. I think it's awesome, and I don't care what anybody says. I really like the Blair Witch Project. When it first came out, I thought it was overrated. I didn't go and see it. I ended up buying it on VHS at Pawn 1 downtown, Spokane, Washington, and I kind of liked it, but I gotta say, when I watched it again, I liked it a lot more. I've never seen Book of Shadows. I haven't heard anything good about it. I don't really care what other people think. If I'm gonna watch something, I want to see it for myself, so I might watch it someday, but I'm just like, But just the one called Blair Witch, I really enjoyed, and that one got really just crapped on, and I liked it. I think it's kind of cool. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it tries to explain what the Blair Witch is, which I think it was pretty cool and pretty original in my own opinion, but I liked it. But I love found footage. I like a lot of stuff like The Bay. Despite my original opinions, I really like the Chernobyl Diaries. I thought that was really creepy, and the ending is just like, God dang. That one I avoided for a while because I thought it was just cashing in on the tragedies of Chernobyl, and I don't really think it was. When I finally watched it, I really liked it. There's a lot of found footage horror I like out there, and I noticed a lot of it seems to be coming out on, not just on Blu-ray, but in the steelbooks. And I've got, I'm trying to remember, but Mad Dog sent it to me as a gift. He got hold of me one day. He's like, dude, I want to get you a movie. You're awesome. I want to get you a movie. And I'm like, you don't have to. He's like, yes, I do. So I ended up getting, God, see, here we go again. The Korean found footage horror film, something Asylum. That one was really good. That had some great twists. That one was really bleak and creepy. And be honest, it wasn't as creepy as I thought it was going to be, but I really did enjoy it. The one that kind of let me down was The Last Broadcast. I really hate to say it. I bought it. I got the super special geek edition. I found it by accident out in Coeur d'Alene. And I was like, oh my God, the cover art's really creepy. It's just a bunch of bloody dead corpses on it. And it wasn't horrible, but it was not what I was expecting, But I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it was like, I don't know, maybe the hype on it, this really creepy, cool film. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but I got to say it wasn't as, great as I thought it was going to be. The one I did really like that made me want to take a bath from head to toe was H-Roz. That is a nasty freaking movie. I mean, we're going to talk about, this is talking about horror movies. I guess that's maybe the second half of this episode of Beyond the Podcast in 1984. It's talking about creepy, and that's another one. It's kind of like found footage. You got two guys at the beginning of the film arrested. They run this guy over. He's just splattered all over the place, and these Mexican police, of course, it takes place in Mexico. They arrest him, and they find this video camera in the car, and they start watching it, and it's definitely not all that I expected. It's really freaking twisted. It's really nasty. It's got a particularly really brutal, mean scene, and what they do to this poor trans woman, this prostitute, and it gets even worse later. It's kind of giving you a background story, like who are these guys, why are they doing they're doing, and it's wow. It's definitely not a movie for everybody. And around that time, I also ended up getting, and real fast before I forget, I ended up getting a Blu-ray, DVD, and the soundtrack, and that was from the lovely Unearthed Films, who definitely has more balls than just about anybody of putting out the nastiest films. Around that time, I also ended up getting a Japanese film called Brutal. And it was really interesting. So you get this like male serial killer in Japan, and then from his point of view, what he's doing, and then they introduce a female serial killer, and then they end up meeting, and wow, I mean, it's pretty freaking mean. It's gory. Some of it's a little hard to watch. Just like H-Roz. H-Roz to me was even nastier. And then, I don't know, not too long before, I think it was probably about a year before those, or 2 years or whatever, I ended up getting one I was really, really wanting to see. A friend of mine was kind of hyped on, called Baskin. At first, I thought it was about ice cream. Baskin is pretty incredible. I need to watch it again, because when I watched it, it was kind of in a weird, kind of like, I don't know, half asleep or something. It actually feels like a nightmare. It's a really, like, just freaking another mean-spirited movie. It's got some really nasty torture scenes, and it's really cool. And unlike a lot of those kind of movies, it actually has, at least to me, has a good ending. And I was surprised, because there's a lot of found footage stuff almost always has a bad ending. I don't know why. It's just like a lot of the Hong Kong, the epic Hong Kong films about, the princess and the warriors and all that. And it's always one person survives at the end and everybody, dies. And I'm like, my goodness. That's films for you, I guess. Thankfully, they're not all like that. And I mean, the thing is, you can watch movies that have bad endings. Like, it's kind of realistic, because life isn't always about good endings, You want to fall in love. Probably doesn't happen. You have a best friend, and then they stab you in the back or whatever. You know what I mean? Everything's not always la la la, but it's kind of nice when things are nice, but it should be naturally nice, not a forced. When people force other people to be nice, like, oh, let's all be nice here. We all smile here. Let's all be friends. No, if you don't want to be friends with somebody, or you don't love somebody, or whatever, then you don't. You're not. But anyways, what else? So yeah. Finally got my Coffin Joe set. I got that Tuesday. 3.5 months, man. Coffin Joe. Beautiful, beautiful Blu-ray collection. A nice box, really nice solid box. Comes with a big poster. Comes with a book. Bunch of postcards. I can't remember how many postcards, but the artwork's cool. It's got reversible covers. Of course, the wonderful Arrow Films does it again, man. And I was really excited to get it. I got an email, and it said, what was it like? Monday before last, I got an email that said, your order's it's on its way. And I'm like, oh my God, I was so excited. Thought I was going to get it by Friday or Saturday. I ended up getting it Tuesday, and I took UPS was it last Saturday, and it said arriving by Thursday. I actually got it Tuesday. So anyways, blah, blah, blah. It's awesome. And once again, I have no reference. I cannot remember her name. Kier something. Anyway, she wrote the book House of Psychotic Women. She has an Instagram site. Very, very cool lady, very heavily involved with, like, you know, about horror films, writing about them. And this is that book, House of Psychotic Women. I have the latest edition of that, the hardcover, and it's a wonderful book. She's really cool. I don't really know her, but I think she's awesome. I really respect her. But she did a review of the Coffin Joe set, and that got me really hyped. She got it kind of earlier. She's kind of in the know with, you know, a lot of people involved in you know, making films, horror films and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I was really appreciative of that. I was jealous. Said to wait like less than a week to get mine. Anyways, I'm really looking forward. I have the old Coffin Joe set. It was a coffin shaped box with 3 DVDs, each one in its own individual case with a cool, like, classic artwork. Came with a comic book, and then if you bought them in the box, you got a 4th comic book. It's one of those photo comics where it's like, you know, the photographs of the actors acting out the thing, and then they get the balloons like a comic book. And I'll never get rid of that. And there's a lot of people like, oh man, I got the Blu-ray of this film, so I'm going to get rid of the old DVD and I'm going to upgrade it. I don't do that. Unless it's a film that I'm like, you know what I mean? My roommate, I've hooked him up with a lot of my movies. I do have some DVDs that I have on Blu-ray now that I will not get rid of. Like, I have 3 different copies of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I have the Dennis Hopper cover DVD, and then I have the cheesy one. It looks kind of like Saw, you know, with the CG cut-off arm. I think it's an okay cover. It's kind of generic, but I have that. And then I, of course, the beautiful Scream Factory Blu-ray, which is just lovely. And of course I put it in a reversible cover with the Breakfast Club parody. I was like, of course, original cover. A lot of these movies, you know, you could do that now. They have reversible covers. But what I understand is Arrow does this a lot, is most of the time when you buy the movie, it's got somebody's artwork that somebody they commission, and the art's usually really cool. I can't complain about any of the art, but I always turn them inside out because I like the original art better. And I'm glad that they're doing that a lot, especially like with the old original movie poster art. I hope they did that with From Beyond, because I hate that cover. That cover is one of the worst freaking covers I've ever seen. It's dumb. It just looks like some really crappy CG crap art that somebody did in an art class. It's boring. It doesn't have anything to do with the movie. Like, my friend Jose was a kick-ass artist. He had a website years ago, and he was comparing VHS covers with a lot of the, you know, at the time with DVD, when DVD was like the big thing, but comparing the art, and a lot of the DVD covers sucked. They even changed the Rosemary's Baby. I didn't notice. I'm getting the Blu-ray / 4K version of that a couple of weeks ago. One of the very last really, you know, movies I bought at Best Buy, because they're going out of business with movies, which sucks and bums me out. But anyways, I can't really complain too much. But I don't know if this cover is a reprint, you know, the original cover from the old VHS, or is this newer, but whatever it is, I can't really complain. It doesn't look that bad, but I swear I saw a cover before and it looked really stupid. I was like, this is terrible. But From Beyond has to be about the worst freaking cover I've ever seen for, like, I mean, the DVD cover sucks. It's like, original VHS says Dr. Pretorius on it. Guy turns to the massive, huge, like, Yog Sothoth or whatever kind of monster, you know, Lovecraft. But I don't know, I love those movies, Reanimator and all that stuff. But anyways, so what was my point? I don't know. All right, well, anyways, this episode is gearing up towards an end in about 2 minutes. Been playing my guitar a lot, hanging out with my kitties, trying to get my kitties to exercise because my 2 boys are really fat. Stormy, who my buddy and I are taking care of, is mom's kitty. She's a brat, but she's cool. She doesn't need to lose weight, but those dudes definitely need to. We had a cold snap out here, and it was horrible. I about froze my hands. It's like day 20 now. Still have a slight bit of congestion. I don't know what else, man. I don't know. I guess that's about it for this episode. And like I said, you know, I need to send all this to Tim, and I'm sure if you're hearing this now, that means you're listening to it. And I hope that people like the show. If you don't, that's fine. But upcoming episode, I had something planned. I don't remember what it was now. I'll be talking about all the different bands I've been involved with. Probably talking about my old zines and comics, because I haven't really talked about any of that, and some of my weird misadventures with that world, some weird stuff. And then Of course, got to do the Mad Max 2 thing, the post-apocalypse episode, big time. Just talking about all kinds of cool, fun stuff. Don't really want to talk about being sad because I'm not really sad right now, unless I dwell on stuff, which is dumb, and I'm trying not to do that. So, yeah. If you're listening to this show, thanks for listening to it. This is Charles, the Bizarre Alien from outer space. Yeah, and if my alien girl out there is listening to this, please come down and hang out with me. I miss you. I'm lonely. Of course, I haven't met you except in my dreams, but Anyways, take care, everybody. Happy New Year. Stay sick. Take care. Don't forget to change your dirty freaking underwear. And keep the filth. I keep watching the skies. Bye.
Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984.
Beyond the
What is this?
It's Beyond the Podcast of 1984.
Well?
It's just BCA.
Better not be. I warn you, for many years, I have been training as an acrobat. Know a lot of tricks.
Well, then show us on btp1984.com.
Of course I wouldn't. Hey! Well.
BCA finds it very hilarious. Maybe you could tune in and listen to the show, btp1984.com.
Sure. What do you think I am? A fake?
Are you a diehard fan of Beyond the Podcast of 1984? Do you want to show off your love for the podcast in style? Well, look no further. Introducing our exclusive podcast merch line. From t-shirts that will make you the envy of all your alien friends, to hats that will keep you looking freaky while repping your favorite podcast. We've got everything you need to take your Beyond the Podcast of 1984 fandom to the next level. So don't wait. Head to btp1984.com now and grab yourself some podcast merch before it's all gone. And remember, wearing BCA's merch will automatically make you funnier and more attractive. Get your Beyond the Podcast of 1984 merch today and join BCA's podcast revolution.